he always knows how to adjust. Sometimes he adjusts the wrong way, sometimes he adjusts the right way. But it just depends on that. And we have to use those types of things against Kirby Smart. And you have 2 weeks to do it. So if I'm K Womack, I'm calling Nick Saban, I'm calling Auburn. Shit, anybody that played that sucker tough. I want to get all different type aspects about how you played him, what you did that works. I'm putting up films again, especially with Auburn, because Auburn played their ass tough every single year. So I'm gonna put up some Auburn film. I'm going back to Nick Saban film. I'm gonna get on the phone with Coach Saban. I'm gonna find out what play Auburn ran that was successful, what play Alabama ran successful, how Nick Saban did this and how Nick Saban did that. And I'm gonna try to put all those two things together with what I do and have a three-head monster coming at Kirby Smart. And if I can
Right.
find anybody else that played their ass tough that they barely beat, I'm bringing some of their plays into it because you got to have everything you got, every weapon that you have in your damn arsenal to fire these damn shots at Kirby. And sometimes
Yeah.
you need a damn bazooka. And Coach Saban is a bazooka, so you need to take this damn bazooka and you need to sit down there and shoot these rockets at damn Kirby. And
Yeah.
you don't wanna miss. And if you miss, at least you blow up everything around them. So me
Got to
personally,
do it.
I'm taking Kurt Saban and I'm shooting them rockets at him because I ain't trying to miss. I want to hit his ass with some missiles.
All facts. All facts, man. Ty, let me get you in here, man. Give me your thoughts. Because I think it's never too early to look forward, especially when this game is ended. We talked on Wisconsin. We talked about things that we liked. We talked about things that we didn't really like so much. We gave all love to everybody across the board for a great win. Give me your thoughts on the Wisconsin game, and then give me your thoughts on the upcoming game.
Yeah, starting with Wisconsin, there was a lot to like. There were some things that Coach, you and I were texting about that leave a little bit to be desired.
Post
Um,
corner.
that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was an amazing throw by Milroe. And one of the things I've talked about in the past, Coach John and Coach Carl, is that whenever you have a quarterback, you can have a quarterback with a big arm, or you can have a quarterback with great timing. I'll take a quarterback with great timing 10 times out of 10. A great example of this is Joe Milton versus Tua. Tua doesn't have the arm of Joe Milton. Joe Milton can't dream of the timing that Tua has. The reason why I bring that to your attention is because on that Jeremy Bernard touchdown, Milroe displayed excellent timing. And this isn't the first time, right? Like he's had a few throws this year that have made me raise my eyebrows and be like, okay, that's the progression. Not to say he's a finished quarterback in terms of his progression and growing, but that's what we wanted to see. Those throws right there, the timing of it, the reads, right? John, you made a great point about the Cuevas touchdown. Going from 1-2-2.
Mhm.
Oh, the safety
Yeah.
took the guy that went in front
Yep.
of his face. Boom. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So I loved that. Um, but here's some of the things, guys, and this is being nitpicky. We've got a great running back room. Phenomenal. I'd like to see them utilized a little bit more than just straight up Jalen Milroe every single time, right? Now, listen, I get it, because if you're DeBoer, you probably realize that you have a guy who's just rare at that position to be able to go out there and attack people. So you utilize the talent. So this is really splitting hairs, but against Georgia, I do think that the quarterback run is going to be effective. I do. There are things, though, that we have struggled with 2 games in a row. And this is what I do want to talk about, and kind of, y'all have probably already talked about it, but we'll get kind of a roundtable discussion going as I'm here. Last week, whenever South Florida was able to attack the edges, I didn't read too much into it because I was like, it's a veer and shoot team, a quarterback that really understands his reads. He's going to get there. That's what he does. Wisconsin was able to get to the edges in their rushing attack, and they had a lot of their success coming from there. Internally, they're stopping what they're doing on the internal runs. But to the external, that's where I think that Georgia is going to look to get some success. And let's be honest, Georgia's got some big running backs.
That's a fact.
Big, physical running back. We have got to set the edge better. The other thing, Coach Sean, you and I were texting about this, is the middle of the defense. You don't think
Talk,
that
yeah,
they're
talk
going
about it.
to park Delp in the middle of this defense? You don't think that they aren't going to send Nate Frazier, who is explosive? I mean, real explosive. You don't think that they're going to send him to the middle of this defense?
It's a
Heck, I
whole
would
fact.
expect to see him send both. Make them choose. Make them choose. And so, listen, I understand I'm being nitpicky here. But at the same time, those are the things I would like to see fixed up, cleaned up, especially going into Georgia. But other than that, guys, I am excited about this win. Love it.
All facts, Ty. And you know, we spoke about that, man. The middle of the defense. I actually brought it up earlier. We all talked about they do need to fix that because better competition will extenuate some of these things that we struggle with. The perimeter runs, you know, shoring up that perimeter, man. It's gotta be shored up with Georgia because that's what they do well. That's what they do well, man. They lean on you. They're gonna make sure your DBs tackle. You know, trying to catch certain DBs in certain situations. So it's gonna be interesting, man. Shout out to my brother Adam Lamparello, who I knew Adam was gonna say that. I knew Adam was gonna come with the Ty Simpson. You know what I mean? Shout out to Adam, man. So you know, it's to be expected, guys. It's to be expected. I knew Georgia's gonna be a tough game to me, man. This is the game that I had circled since last year, since the schedule came out, because I figured we would be undefeated after a couple of weeks. You know, and my take is this, man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, really quickly, Georgia's gonna be Georgia. I still think they have the best identity in college football, meaning they don't ever seem to be scurrying around. They understand who they are. They don't try to do nothing better. This would be, to me, in my humble opinion. Some other channel may tell you something different. I think Carson Beck is the best quarterback we face yet, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely
So
so far.
no doubt.
I think you have to get Carson off of his square. You can't let him set his feet. I do believe that Carson can hurt us in the pass game if we're not sound, right? I think we have to get pressure on Carson. You don't have to sack him, but you do need to get pressure on him. They got some little receivers and some inside mesh routes that they like to do now that they can cause problems for your slot receivers, for your slot defensive backs, excuse me, for your defense, for your Huskies and guys like that to cover the slot. These guys can cause problems, man. They can cause problems for you. Coach Al says Coach Sean took us to school on the best double move in the game, the post corner. Hey man, listen, I talked to y'all. Coach Al, Ty, they know how I feel about the post corner. That's my favorite route. When I used to throw it, it used to feel like euphoria in real life, right? Anytime you can catch a safety or a corner, whichever one, that don't help each other, right? You can catch him. Anytime you can catch him, right? And he backs off you a little bit, right? And you're in a perfect place in the field. Run that post, man. Run the post hard. Set it up. Run the post once or twice. You might not even throw it, but come back and run that post. If the defensive back closes space, you put your foot in the ground, you head to the back pylon. If he lags off you and don't close space, go ahead and throw the post route. So either way, your defensive back is dead, right? So, and I know Jalen could throw that. Jalen could throw the post corner, man. And that's exactly what happened with Jeremy Bernard. So,
well,
I don't
Coach,
have any worries.
if you would,
Sure,
I'd like
sure.
you to expand on two things real fast. Really,
Mhm,
one.
yeah.
They kind of go together.
Yeah.
Ryan Williams touchdown last week against USF. I want you to talk to the people out there, because you're the offensive guy here, about the timing of that throw, the timing of the Bernard throw, and how, in your opinion, do you think that is signs of growth from Milroe? I mean, once again, I'm not saying he's perfect. I think there's still growth to go. But those throws, like you and I were texting about the Ryan Williams one last week, you have to hit that sucker perfectly on time, or else that DB can jump it and it can be 6 the other way.
It's a
Talk
whole
to us
fact.
about that.
Anytime you have a route that's a timing route, man. Anything like hitches, post corners. Coach Al is in here. He can tell you the exact same thing, man. Moon Rocker, these guys can tell you the exact same thing. Coach Carl, these guys can tell you the exact same thing. Anybody that knows, what's up, Hacker Music? I talked about last week. If the DB backs off, the hitch is there all day, man. The hitch is there. You got to have a defensive back that can snap that hitch off really, really, really quickly. You got to have, and we finally threw it. It's got to be timing. I'm not confident that Jalen could do that in the beginning of the season last year, not consistently. For Jalen to drop back, look one way, come back another, and to throw the hitch as Ryan is breaking down and turning around last week, that definitely shows growth. It shows growth, it shows timing, and it shows confidence. You got to be a confident quarterback to throw that hitch route because just like Ty said, if you're late, go ask Shador Sanders what happens when you throw a hitch late,
Ooh.
right? It can go
Good
the other
point.
way very quickly, right? So it shows Jalen's feet have gotten very steady, right? He has the arm to throw from this side back across field on a hitch. And it was perfect for him. It was perfect for him. And this week, to set the defensive back up like that and to throw that post corner, which I love. I mean, I love post corners, man. To me, it's the best route in college football because you can't defend it unless your defensive back is just Deion Sanders or somebody, right?
Or
You
like
get
a
that
Pat
guy
Surtain, right? Like, yeah, you're 100%
or Pat
right.
Surtain. Yeah, facts, man. You get the defensive back covering one route, double move,
Yep.
feet in the ground, and you got to really sell the post. You got to sell the post at least 2 or 3 steps to the post. We teach our people to sell the post, right? Break down, foot in the ground, and attack the pylon. The ball should be coming out as soon as you're in the break. So the ball is coming out. So there's no way to recover. If your defensive back turns around, there's no way to recover on that route, man. And you could throw that as long as they line up in that. So it does show the progression of Jalen Milroe. It does show the growth of this kid as far as those type of routes. Because remember, guys, with an inaccurate quarterback, you can't throw timing routes. They're very dangerous to throw timing routes. Bryce Young could throw that in his sleep with his eyes closed, right?
He was the
Yeah.
best
But
I've seen at it.
that was his game. But an inaccurate quarterback, you can't throw those kind of things. Look where Jalen dropped the ball in the end zone from the time of the end zone to the back pylon. The ball was perfectly thrown. So I can't take nothing from Milroe in this game, man. You can't go out and you talk about 300 yards. We don't need him to do that at the moment,
Nope.
right? You don't need him to, now. It'll come a time when Jalen will have his opportunity to throw these 300 and 350-yard games. It'll come a time when somebody takes Ryan away. It'll come a time when a team plays very, very good with us and gives us the man coverage we need to throw deep on a lot of different routes. So just be patient, man. Just be patient. Ty, let me get you and John's and Coach Carl's on this last segment real quick. Let me get your thoughts on this. What do you say? What do you say to the people that still is Jake in here? Did I see Jake?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jake's
I
in
think
here.
I just saw Jake.
Jake, man, what's up, bro? They got my bro, Jake, boy. Jake, man. Hey, look, man, I'm having Jake set the tone with draws. Where the hell is my partner, man?
Yeah,
Need to get my brother in here.
we need you
Need
in
to
here to
get
break down this defense.
Yeah, Jake can school us all on defense. We put him and Coach Carl together, man. I go through a whole notebook, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Jake, man. Set the tone. Need to get
I keep it
Jance
right
in here.
here.
Exactly. The notebook will be full, brother. Thank you, Jake. Jake says right there, Jalen is learning that pocket. Facts. You see him climb that thing and throw that. That's the people don't understand. That's what you want to see, guys. That's what
And
you
shout
want
out
to
to the
see.
offensive line today. The Caden
Oh man, we
Proctor
talked
coming
about it.
back made the whole line play more confident. Love that.
Yes, we love it. I want you to talk to me on this, man. What do you say, Ty? Let me get you first, Ty. What do you say, Ty, to the people that are still not understanding or not seeing the progression in Jalen Milroe? Because let me tell you this, Ty, before you speak on it, even when the offensive play call was not supportive and it was pretty boo-boo, he made something out of nothing. What do you say to that? To these people that still doubting him?
I'll take it right from there. Jalen Milroe last year was a great deep ball thrower, but this year we've already seen the intermediate stuff look better. And whenever they are giving him these check down options, I'm not saying he's hit every check down option. Like most quarterbacks don't, but he's hit them when they're given at a higher rate, exponentially higher than he did last year. Listen, I have all the faith in the world in Ty Simpson. I think that a year in the DeBoer system, learning, Ty Simpson is going to be a one-and-done player next year. I think he's going to have a great year, go to the NFL. But what Jalen Milroe did on that, let's just break down the throws we've seen this year. One, the leadership in USF. Dude was calm. There's a difference between getting emotional and playing with emotion. I'm fine if you get emotional. Playing with emotion leads you to shooting yourself in the foot, and Jalen Milroe stayed steady through the storm. We go back to Western Kentucky. That second touchdown to Ryan Williams was a beautiful throw. And Coach I talks about this. Watch the helmet, that stripe on the helmet. That first game against Western Kentucky, you saw that stripe go through. He went from left to here. It's not there. Back to Ryan Williams. Bam. Beautiful strike. Put it right where it needed to be. Then you talk about the Ryan Williams touchdown today. Guys, I couldn't have handed Ryan Williams the ball any better than he threw it. Like, Ryan cooked that cat off the line of scrimmage. Came up with his route and kind of did a little bit of a hesitation. I don't know what you would call it. Coach Sean, please correct me. But for my lack of knowledge, I would call it more of like a hesitation release, where his first thing, because the guy wasn't pressing him, he wasn't that close, he kind of stood up and made it look like he was going to run a slant or a drag. The second that dude's hips turned in, he cut the other way and was out. And that guy wasn't catching him.
Defensive back got caught, and the coaches know this. Defensive back got caught backpedaling instead of scooching.
Yep.
And Ryan set him up on the 9, outside leverage, over with. Go ahead, Ty.
Done. And then he put the ball. I mean, Ryan was sprinting, and all he did was this. And that ball hit him. It's the same thing I said about Nico, guys. I know they haven't played anybody, so we don't know how good Tennessee is. But if your wide receiver is running and they do this, and the ball hits them in the hands, I don't really care who you're playing. That's placement. Like, that's placement. That will translate. We got that pass. The Cuevas pass. John, I don't know why I said Josh. John, you talked about this. Cuevas just put his hands up like this.
Bro.
Boom. The Jeremy Bernard pass. I mean, that was a beautiful throw. And then the first touchdown of the season, the Kendrick Law touchdown. Bucket breaks down. What does he do? He remains. That looked like a Bryce Young play.
Yep.
That first touchdown to Kendrick Law, that looked like a Bryce Young play. So, listen, I get it. Bama fans, I will say, be patient with people, even though I think it should be fairly obvious that Jalen's the guy. Bama fans are spoiled because that quarterback room is insane. Yeah. You got multiple cats in it, but nobody in that room can do what Jalen can do.
Go ahead, John.
I'm going to pose two things because Ty broke pretty much everything down. When's the last time you saw an Alabama quarterback have this much swagger? I think when a quarterback can show that, kind of like Mac Jones did, it brings the entire team up. It brings confidence up in everybody, right? When you stand next to Jalen Milroe, it's not like you're under a pressure cooker, right, to succeed or whatever it may be. You're there to have fun and play football, in my opinion. When you look at them on the sideline this year versus the past couple of years, it's not looked that way, right? So obviously different coaches have different styles, right? So and the next thing is this. You look at that quarterback room, you have Austin Mack, you have Ty Simpson, you have Jalen Milroe. You best believe that Kalen DeBoer knows who to put in what situation. And I think that if Jalen Milroe is the starter, he should be the starter, period. There's no doubting that. When you look at the progression of when he came out of Katy, Texas, I personally didn't know if he was going to play quarterback, because if you go watch the film, it just wasn't good. You know what I mean? From the throwing perspective, his mechanics were terrible. And then you look at the progression through the years, and he's proved so many of us wrong, right? As casual fans like me. But yeah, the way he's utilized and the way Kalen DeBoer can put him in the situations to succeed, along with obviously Nick Sherry and Jamarcus Shepard and these guys, I think there's no reason to ever doubt Kalen DeBoer and what he's going to do anyways. I'm not saying to never doubt him, but I'm saying from this perspective, it would be very hard pressed. Go all the way back to Fresno State, Sioux Falls. Look at those quarterbacks. They all succeed. They're all leadership guys. They're all what I would call field generals, right? So they know how to take the leadership roles, and they know how to take the team along with them. All of them, even Penix, the transition he made from Indiana over to Washington, he looked like a different human being. I'm not saying he wouldn't have been good at Indiana, but when he was on the field playing, he just looked different. So, no, I think Jalen Milroe is going to put up hell of numbers, right? So the stats aren't going to justify what he means to the team. right? I mean, there's so much that can come from that. Look at Mac Jones. In my opinion, he's the best example of that. Like Mac Jones waited his turn. He learned the system. He progressed. And look what happened. You know what I mean? So you just have to basically trust in this staff at this point, because there's nothing else you can do. We don't know much about these guys at Alabama, right? So, yeah.
Coach Carl, you good? Can you hear me, Coach Carl?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
I know you driving, probably going through some dead spots. Tell us, we got what, 580 total people together in here. Please tell us your thoughts on the naysayers steal of Jalen Milroe.
Man, I was just looking at one of these chats, and it's really irritating. Let me tell you some of the stuff they said about Milroe. His passing yard was 9 for 12, 130, 2 touchdowns. He had 8 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown. They said it seemed pretty good, but we still want Ty Simpson. Not this game. Ty Simpson is a running quarterback. We'll prefer Mac in the conference play over Ty Simpson. They say, I already appreciate your opinion for bringing this realness, but I prefer Mac over Jalen Milroe. Bro, this is Wisconsin. These guys are trash. Anybody can put up points against Wisconsin. Come down to Georgia, we should start Mac.
Who said that?
Somebody actually said that?
This is, man, this is a chat, man. It's an Alabama sports board. This is on the Alabama sports board.
Start Mac? Who the hell is Mac?
Austin Mac?
Austin
No, he's
Mac.
Austin Mac.
No,
Start Mac over Jalen against Georgia.
That's wild.
Why would anybody suggest throwing a quarterback who has not played significant college snaps against Georgia? They will eat him alive.
These people, man, I don't know, man, what's going on with Bama fans or whatnot. I don't know if it's the real Bama fans or these bandwagon Bama fans or these foolish, ignorant
trolls.
I think that's probably that. I think that's a troll. They gotta be trolls.
Gotta be.
It's gotta be.
It's a Bama page, man. It's a Bama sport page, and it's a lot of comments.
But on that comment alone, that should tell you don't even pay attention to him. He don't know.
It's ignorance. It's very ignorant.
Yeah,
It's a lot of hate for Jalen Milroe. Even though the kid is consistently winning, the kid haven't lost a damn SEC game in a while. Who beat him in the SEC? I don't think nobody beat him in the SEC, right?
So if we want to be super, if I want to be super technical, Texas going into the SEC, but that wasn't necessarily Jalen's fault, right? Like, we missed opportunities, but Sark schemed up our defensive backfield and played him like he was the maestro. So that I can't even put that on him.
Texas still wasn't in the SEC.
Yeah, but I'm being technical SEC, because they,
it still wasn't the SEC team. But he hadn't lost as a starting quarterback to the SEC team.
100%.
But you still want this guy on the bench, and now they asking for Mac. I mean, damn, they said they didn't even want Ty Simpson, but Ty Simpson is a running quarterback. Last year,
don't even pay them no attention.
Oh my God!
Don't even pay them no attention.
Was a passing quarterback, so it's crazy, man. Like the hate for Jalen Milroe is real. Like it's too real out here, man. And the reason being because the guy's too successful. He having too much success, and the better he gets, the more
he's having too much fun is the problem, Coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we're being honest, that's the problem. He's having fun. Yeah. He's making it look fun. Like John says, he's got a swagger.
He's making it look easy. That's why I told Coach Sean before. This guy is turning into Alabama version of the Deshaun Watson.
Yep, exactly.
At Clemson. And if once he turns that corner and start hitting no intermediate passes, he gonna be a better version of Deshaun Watson in Alabama, and they really gonna hate him. The hate gonna start coming in so much because now even you're gonna have Auburn fans basically coming in putting Alabama pictures up there and trolling Alabama. And you're gonna have Georgia fans coming in next week, probably gonna put up Alabama pictures on their pages, and they gonna start commenting about Jalen Milroe. It's gonna be a lot of stuff going on about Milroe, man. And I hate it for the kid, but I love it for the kid.
It's fuel for the fire.
You hate me this much, you all you gonna do is turn me up. You're gonna make me
100%.
want to go harder, get better. I'm gonna be in that film room every day, studying more and more and more. Go out here on the field. I'm gonna be practice on my intermediate, my short passing game. I know my deep ball is probably the best in the country. So everything that they saying I can't do, that's what I'm gonna do better. When you say I'm a running quarterback, I'm gonna prove to you that I can throw the football. And then when you thinking I'm sitting back and throwing the ball, I'm gonna gash you for 50, 60, 70 yards at a time. Whatever you think I can't do, AE Georgia or whoever lined up in front of me, I'm coming at your head. I'm trying to embarrass you. I'm gonna take that Jalen Hurts approach to everything. You say I can't do it, let me prove to you I can.
You
And
know,
that's how I think Jalen should start taking everything. Take this like, man, take it like a man trying to take your girlfriend from you. You can do everything you can to keep her,
Go ahead, John.
especially
you,
if you love her. So hey
you
man, let's go to war. I
Coach
love it.
Coach Carl, I want your opinion on this. So, in my opinion, when you look at this situation, the last time I remember seeing a quarterback being hated on this much because supposedly he couldn't throw had to be Lamar Jackson. When he
Lamar
was at
Jackson.
Louisville, I mean, it's identical.
Ooh, that's a good one,
That's a
John.
good one.
That's a damn
Good
good
one.
one.
Lamar
Like,
Jackson, yeah.
and he ended up doing what his last year, winning the Heisman.
Winning
Yeah.
the Heisman,
We'll see what happens.
torching Florida State.
Yep.
Let me say, shout out to Dr. Strange. $2 super chat. Dr. Strange says, O improved, D needs work, D rush, and deep routes. Roll Tide. Thank you, Dr. Strange. $2 super chat, man. Thank you so very much for donating. I appreciate that, Dr. Strange, man. Much love. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. I appreciate you on that for sure. Let me give my take really, really quickly, man. John, go ahead. You got something on
No,
that.
no, that was it. That was all of it. I appreciate it.
Let me say this to y'all, man. And I'm gonna keep it real football, and this is as football is gonna get, man. Here's the deal. Jalen has never lost to Georgia. I don't know one SEC team outside of New Texas SEC who's been in the SEC now for what, 30 seconds, who's Jalen lost
15
to.
and a half.
15 and a half. Right. No SEC team has beaten Jalen as a starter, I think. Is that correct? We lost to
None.
Texas last year for last year,
And that
whatever
was
it was.
Sark scheming up against our defense. That wasn't on Jalen.
That's a fact. That's a whole fact. If you really know what you're talking about, now I hope this don't offend nobody. I'm not talking about these men in here who claim they know football and like my uncles. I've been watching football for 30 years, but you still can't tell me what scooching is. I've been watching football for 27 years, but you can't tell me the difference in something basic like a 3-4 and a 4-4. You don't even know. You can't even tell me the difference in that. You can't tell me what's third down plays, what's man beaters. You can't tell me the difference in a tunnel route and in a mesh route. You can't tell me nothing. You don't even know what you watching. You just watching whether he throw a touchdown or not. It's kind of like, so this is what I'm asking you. If you know football, I'm talking to you. Jalen Milroe's progression, going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, back to the hot route first, is that better or worse than last year? I would say 100% better.
No
His
question.
feet, happy feet, moving all over the place, never set his feet, throwing off his back foot, right? Inaccurate as hell. Is that better or worse than last year? I would say 100 times better. Go look at the
No
throw to Ryan
question.
Williams where he sat in the pocket and climbed it, right? Jalen Milroe's vision, right? Going from progression to progression. There's a difference in progression and vision. You can see it, but still not throw it, right? Mind you, this is a kid that got sacked more times than any other quarterback in Alabama history last year, right? Some his fault, some the line's fault, right? When you're a great athlete, guys, you automatically fall back on your legs. That's any athlete, any great athlete that runs a 4.2. If the first progression ain't open, my first mind thing is, oh, I can run and get this because you know you can do it. For Jalen to get sacked on top of that, and some of those sacks were some hellacious hits, right? And still come back and learn how to set his feet in his third offense in 3 years, right? The kid is right where you want him to be. I don't know what the hell you're hating on. Because I'm gonna tell you what happened. What would happen with some of these Bama fans? Soon as Jalen Milroe go out the game, we start getting our asses kicked. They be wanting him back. Is Jalen
Oh,
ready?
yeah.
Can
Oh,
can
yeah.
Jalen get back in the game? So is there things that we could all improve on? Yes. It'll be things you can improve on from now for the rest of your career. The rest of your career. Reggie White was a Hall of Famer and told you I still got plenty of stuff I can improve on. Right? So some of y'all need to stop, bro. Right? I don't even pay attention. Like if I had seen that comment to my Austin Mack, I'd have scrolled right on by. This
Yep.
goof clearly don't know what the hell he talking
Same.
about.
I don't
Clearly.
give it any
I-
attention.
I would have thought it was I'm just going to give I would have thought it was an Auburn troll. Because I'm not even going to lie. Listen, Georgia has trolls for us, but like I can at least respect the Georgia trolling just because it's more fun. The Auburn trolling, that's an Auburn level troll where it's like, okay, this isn't even good. This is, what's the, what is it? Tom Hardy, John from, what's the movie? And he's like, that's bait.
Oh,
That's bait.
oh my gosh. Not Psycho.
Mad Max.
Mad Max. There we go.
That's bait. That's what that is. That's bait. That's 1,000% bait. Guys, I will say one thing. I have a lot of respect for Fickle. Did you hear about what Fickle told his team in the locker room?
No. What did he say? I didn't hear.
He just looked at them and bluntly said, well, if you didn't know what an ass whooping felt like, now you do. Look, solid coach, man. Like
Yeah.
And listen,
I talk to their fans too, Ty. Go ahead. I talk to them. I say, just be patient. Be patient.
Listen, there's a few coaches out there I have a lot of faith in. One, Brennan Marion out at UNLV, that offensive coordinator. We better hope that he doesn't come to the SEC because I think he's on a real solid path up. Alex Golish. I actually pray that if Florida fires Napier, they let Golish go to Florida instead of Auburn, right? Because I that's how much I think Golish, if you give him the personnel, he's going to be a dude, man. I really like what I'm seeing out of Golish and Luke Fickell. But here's what I want people to realize, Coach, because I didn't get to talk about this with y'all. There will be people out there, and I understand the argument. I get it, where they will say, hey, y'all won so much because Tyler Van Dyke went down. And prayers for Tyler Van Dyke. I seriously hope that whatever it is,
I pray for that kid during the game. Facts.
Because I don't care if you're Auburn. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. These kids have an opportunity to pursue a dream. If it was up to me, Bama would beat Auburn every single time, but every Auburn kid who has a dream of going to the NFL would see that dream come true, or whatever it may be. That would be my perfect world. While they lose to Bama, but that they still hit that. I bring the Tyler Van Dyke situation up because that quarterback that played today took it down to the wire for the quarterback battle. It wasn't one of those things where it was like, oh, we have Van Dyke and God forbid he goes down. We don't know what we're going to do. No. This guy pushed it until the last second. He was a guy many people thought would be a starter. Bama didn't beat a regular backup quarterback situation, even though he was the backup. Let's understand the nuance and context there, because I know that's going to be an argument that many of you Bama fans will encounter over the next 2 weeks. Have that in your back pocket. This is a far more nuanced conversation than people would have you believe.
Oh, facts, man. Patriot Life. My brother Rob, man. Good to see you, Patriot Life. Rob, Jenny was in here, man. I don't know if she's still in here, but Jenny came in here, uplifted our spirits, bro. You know what I'm saying? Much love to my brother Rob, man. Patriot Life, belt to ass. I thought they looked better, at least the penalties. And nobody's, and again, Rob brings up a great point. I didn't even talk about it. We weren't penalized like we were last week.
Not even close. Right? Not even close.
All facts, man. Shout out to Rob, man. $20 super chat. Thank you, man. Patriot Life. Love you to death, Rob, man. Much love, man. Much love to Jenny and much love to Rob. That's who was with me. Jenny and Rob was kicking it on A-Day, man. Love to you, brother. You already know how I feel about you, man. That's much love. That's from me and Mia, for sure. That's another thing. Rob and Patriot Life bring up a good point. We didn't even get penalized like we did. So we got better. Coach Carl said it. John said it. Ty said it. We got better this week. That's what the hell you want to see, guys. You want to see improvement. It's not going to be perfect ever. No football team. That's what football is. Ebbs and flows, right? Good plays, bad plays. Alabama got better. This is a quick note for anybody watching this, and I just text my partner and tell him make sure you get this message to Jalen. Listen, we got love for you, Jalen. We respect you, homie.
100%.
You're doing great things, man. Among some tides that are against you, right? For whatever the reason is, I don't know. Maybe we just so spoiled, I guess. I don't know. Keep doing you, brother. Keep doing you. Keep winning games. Keep playing your game, right? Because they're gonna miss you when you're gone. My grandma used to tell me that you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. They're gonna miss you when you're gone, right? You do your thing, brother, for your family, for your Tide fans who love you, even for the ones that don't love you, right? You need haters. 50 Cent said he said, I need you. I need you to hate me. You use that and get better and continue, and you hoist that trophy at the end of the season. The season starts next week. You play your best game, man, and be satisfied with the result. You know what I mean? That's to him and to the rest of the team, man.
Yep.
Shout out to LaQuasia. Shout out to Quay. Good to see you in here,
And
LaQuasia.
Coach, if I may say one thing before we hop out
Go
of here.
ahead, brother. Go ahead.
This was the largest win by an opposing team at Camp Randall since 2008.
Boom.
There you go.
Tell the haters that, man.
Jalen Milroe is also in rare company because he's the first quarterback since 2009 to throw for multiple passing touchdowns and running touchdowns in consecutive games. He joins a list that includes Jordan Lynch, Colin Kaepernick, Johnny Manziel, and Tim Tebow. Do you think they were good college quarterbacks? I don't really remember. Were they good college quarterbacks?
Yes. To those that don't know, yes. Shout out to Carla Hinton. Shout out to my girl LaQuasia. And shout out, big shout outs to everybody who tapped in with us tonight, man. Make sure you that you support the team, man. Jalen played well. The team getting better. The offensive line is getting better. Coach Carl spoke about it in depth. The defense getting better. John brought the stats out. Everything is going the way it's supposed to be going. Think about last week. Think about the week before. This was a better team, a better environment on the road. And Ty just gave you the stats. Nobody's whipped their asses like that.
Not since Penn State in 2008. 2008. Ladies and gentlemen, I was in the 7th grade.
Oh, gosh. I feel old. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, and think about Coach Sean. Jalen Milroe, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Milroe is the only quarterback in Alabama history to have 2 rushing and 2 passing touchdowns in two consecutive games. And then with today, he had 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown in 3 consecutive games. Ain't nobody ever done that in Alabama history. But they still asking for a new quarterback.
Nah, man.
Some people never happen.
Some people never happen, like John said. But you know what, though? I will say this, man. Fans is going to be fans, brother. You know, we all come in all different shapes, sizes, thought processes. Fans going to be fans, man. Shout out to my girl, Jenny, man. I hope Rob's still in. Hope he see you. Fans going to be fans, guys. You got to take the good. There you go. Rob see you. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the good with the bad, guys. You got to take the good with the bad. Just continue to listen to the good. Don't even listen to the bad, man. The team is sticking together. What'd you say, Coach? Go ahead, Coach.
I said everybody load the bag up until the bag up is in the game.
Oh, that's a bar.
Hey, what did South Florida teach you? Speak on it, Coach. Hell, speak on it.
Everybody load the bag up till the bag up becomes the starter. When the bag up becomes the starters and the bag up starts seeing those live bullets flying at his head, the bag up really don't want to be the starter at that point. I'm telling you that.
Oh, facts. Everybody love the backup until the backup get in there, and then you like South Florida. I know a lot of y'all ain't even gonna call your name. Some of y'all my partners. You was calling for what's my man name who plays soccer or badminton or lacrosse or something? What's his name?
You put some respect on that great game of lacrosse.
Tyler Buckner.
and no disrespect to that great game of lacrosse. I was strictly pointing to what's his name, John? Tyler Buckner.
Tyler Buckner.
A lot of y'all was wanting Buckner. Buckner should play. Well, when Buckner got in there, I give it 1 series, and y'all was like, get his ass out of here quickly. Get his ass out of here now. Right? Coach Saban did that to prove a point to some of y'all, man. He did to prove a point to some of y'all, man, for sure. Jalen gives us the best opportunity to win, and Jalen is doing a fine job. Shout out to Jalen Milroe. Shout out to the whole Bama team. They they got better in every facet of the game Saturday, and I loved it. In a competitive environment, man. Ty, before we get out of here, let everybody know where they can find you, what's coming up on Monday with the show. Let everybody know where they can find you and what's cracking and what's going on.
Yeah, on Monday we will be going live 5:30 Central Standard Time. We will be saying
Be there.
Be
there.
prayers.
Tap in, please.
We will be saying the prayers for Arkansas because, guys, Pittman's cooked and we're feasting on pulled pork.
Wait, Ty, before you tell them. Speak on Arkansas. Speak on Florida State. Shout out to Roy Dale because I understand why Roy Dale left.
Roy Dale
was
is
an
good.
Older cat. He good. He was an older dude. He wanted to play. He realized,
You see this running back room?
Exactly. Malik Benson tried to take a little shot at us. Well, that ain't working out too well for him. Speak on Arkansas really quickly, Ty, and speak on Florida State.
I'll start with Arkansas because I can get through that one quicker. Listen, I like Sam Pittman. I think a lot of college football fans, when you see Sam Pittman, even if you don't like Arkansas, there is some part of you that's like, man, I really want him to work there because he just feels like an Arkansas coach that's like, I wanted him to bring Arkansas back. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to mince words. I wanted him to work. But after they embarrassed me, when I picked them to beat Oklahoma State last week, I was done. And then this week, it's over. I'm sorry. It is over. That experiment is done. I don't have much else to say. Arkansas is supremely talented. They've got some pieces, but holy moly, I just don't understand how they can be this up and down. Now let's talk about Florida State, because I know that there are 605 people in here. 400 of you might point the blame at DJU. And I'm not saying you're completely wrong. We can look at Boston College. There were throws that need to be made, but you know who deserves far more blame than DJU? Exponentially more blame? Mike Norvell. You want to know why? DJU isn't a first-year quarterback. If DJU had only played 1 year of college football and it's like, okay, this is who he is, but this is who I think he can become, I would be fine with being like, okay, DJ, you got to improve. The guy's been in quarterback since 1979. You know what you're getting with him. And you still chose to take him. And that's not to say that he's not whatever, but when he got DJU, I knew that system wasn't going to work. That's not to his strengths. Mike Norvell's offense is wonky to me anyways. It seems like your little brother is playing Madden and all they want to run is 4 verticals. I mean, it's really weird to me. This is on Norvell. I understand. Whenever we look back at this game last week, I understand if you have a guy like Jared Verse who sits out a bowl game. Because what was that Notre Dame linebacker a few years ago who tried to come back and play the bowl game for his brothers, ripped everything up in his knee? Y'all remember who I'm talking about? Smith.
Yeah. Linebacker. Played for the Cowboys. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So
Jalen
Smith. Yeah. If you're a first rounder or a second round guy and you were like, hey guys, and you're like, hey guys, I'm going to sit this one out, you're not going to hear me complain. But at the point where guys that are going in the 4th, 5th round, if you would have played Georgia and played them well, maybe you're a 3rd rounder now. Hell, maybe you're a 2nd rounder. You can't convince me that sitting out that many guys that weren't 1st round grade guys, that's not a culture thing. I'm sorry. You just can't convince me. I'm not arguing about Jared Verse. I'm not arguing about anybody that went in the 1st. I'm saying if you had a 3rd round grade or below and you chose to sit out, you can't convince me that's not a culture thing because Georgia played. We can go back. Bryce Young and Will Anderson played against Kansas State. What did they have to gain? They had everything to lose, but they were there. Florida State did all that bumping of the gums, and they're 0-3. They're the only team to be ranked as a top 10 team to start off the year 0-3. I don't know what else to say. It's pathetic.
Yeah, that's terrible. Facts. John.
It's he spoke on it. It's a terrible situation. Bobby Petrino's a coach in waiting for Arkansas. It looks like there's no doubt about that. Harley Davidson stock's about to go back up in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be an open secretary position as well. But yeah, other than that, I'll just leave it at that.
Coach Carl. You there, Coach?
If you know, you know.
Coach must be hitting one of them spots again. Well, let me go say Jenny said it best for me. Florida State are nothing but crybabies. This proves why they didn't make the playoffs last year. And some may say, well, this is this year. But let me tell you why Jenny is spot on. Florida State didn't make the playoffs. I'll make it quick. Florida State didn't make the playoffs. Their quarterback, Jordan, get hurt. They're not the same team. They go and almost lose to a terrible Florida squad. They almost lose.
Who was on quarterback 3, by the way, Coach?
Who was on quarterback 3 by the facts. You know what I'm saying? So you prove that you're not the same team, right? Right. Well, this is how you prove the world they're wrong, Florida State. You take a page out of Bryce's book and out of Will Anderson's book, just like Ty just said. You take a page, you say, you know what? The world think we can't win. You go out there and you play Georgia. You don't sit out. You go beat Georgia, then you force everybody to watch. You force everybody to pay, like, oh, wait a minute. They beat Georgia? But no, you didn't want to play Georgia. You use that as a cop-out. We're just going to sit out. We're going to take our ball and go home. You used that as a cop-out. You knew you wasn't beating Georgia without that quarterback. So that's why all your players left. And we went undefeated, so that should be good enough. No. You take a page. We lost to Tennessee and LSU that year. What did Bryce and Will do? We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. We came back and put belt the ass on Kansas State, who beat TCU, the team you took over us, I might add. You stay and you prove a point. You go beat Georgia, and then the whole world got to listen to you. The whole world got to listen to you, whether we want to or not. But you didn't do that. You set out and you set a culture tone at the end of the season that's carrying over to the beginning of this season. You get what you deserve, brother. The truth will always be in the details with me. Ty, where can they find you at?
You can find me at Around the Table Sports. Monday, like I said, we're doing our final seance, if you will, for Florida State, for Florida, for Arkansas. It is what it is, right? We're going to have a lot of fun doing it as well, and I can't wait to get Jansen there to rant. We're going to talk about this game. We'll all have a chance to rewatch it. We will be headlining things, all the information you need in terms of the weekend of football. Be sure to be there, Around the Table Sports, 5:30. Also, if I'm not there, you can catch me on Bleacher Report Fridays at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. I would love to have you guys all come over to the Bleacher Report app and support your boy. I brought it home for Alabama last year in the college football pick'em, but it's not looking too good for me this year. Sam Pittman
be messing everybody up.
I need y'all's help, right? Head over there, give me some support, give me some love, and Coach Sean, thank you as always for having me on.
Always, brother. John?
First of all, thanks, Coach Sean, for bringing me on. Everybody in the comment section, getting on here and leaving comments and all that stuff, whether it's, it's all opinionated, right? That's all it is. So like you say, just my humble opinion. But yeah, you can catch me at Bama Talk with John or Alabama Nation. X or Twitter is at Bama Nation John.
Coach Carl, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Let them know where they can find you. Give them all your platforms. And everybody tap in with Coach Carl. He got some very, very good clips of the game from inside of the game, especially Coach Saban's ceremony. It is awesome. It's the best view I've seen. Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can find me on the Block Sports Talk with Coach Carl. And you can find me on Twitter at Coach KD Taylor 34. Other than that, man, I used to be hanging around with these guys on their platform most of the time. But usually I'm at football practice, man, because I'm in the meat of our schedule. We took a loss last night. It was heavy rain, and it hurt us pretty bad. But I still love everybody, man. But guess what? We can beat Georgia. I saw somebody in the chat asked, can we beat Georgia? Yes, we can beat Georgia. And we will beat Georgia. So don't worry about that. Just follow all these guys, man. Ty, the genius, John, Coach Sean, and the rest of the guys on the platform with us, man. Y'all just keep joining in and keep supporting us, man. We have a lot going on, and we appreciate y'all. Thanks.
And you guys can definitely find me at JMHO Sports Talk. Please tap in with me on Twitter. I'm trying to get those likes up. Tap in with me here. Just my humble opinion. JMHO Sports Talk at JMHO Sports Talk. Want to give big love to all the guys on the panel, man. Shout out to Coach Carl. Thank you for coming, Coach Carl. I know you be busy. John, do an awesome job, man. John snatching up subscribers left and right. Really great job. And the man himself, Ty Hayes. You know how I feel about Ty, my affinity for him. Learn a lot from Ty through this YouTube stuff. Brinsky, my brother Brinsky, this man got pro content, college content, whatever you're looking for, man. Shout out to Set the Tone and my brother Jake. Go tap in with Jake as well as Set the Tone. Go tap in with Jance at Jance716. Go tap in with Brinsky at Sharp Shooters Podcast. Tap in with Coach Smook at the Coach Smook Network and the AAA family. Tap in with Jason at Hall of Fame Sports, best Oklahoma content you can find, and tap in with Coach I at Fan Addict Sports, man. Georgia fan. These guys have awesome channels. Trust me, these guys are awesome. They do an awesome job. It's way more than that, but I can't remember most of them, man, because they just that awesome. And just tap in with us. We doing a show with Ty tomorrow. Monday. We'll be back on Monday evening at 5:30. Ready to talk some Georgia, ready to talk some Wisconsin, and moving into Georgia. And thank you guys for tapping in, man. Really. Didn't Coach Jay attend Wisconsin? I think Jay did say he was going to that dadgum game. I thought he did say he was going. I think Coach Jay did go to that game. That's actually a good point, Sweet Home Bama. Good to see my man Ephraim. Good to see Mud. Good to see Shaka. You know what I'm saying? All the people in the chat, man, Nicole, and even my boy Adam, you know what I mean? Everybody, man, that taps in. Moon Rocker gonna always give it to you straight. You know how it is. Love seeing my girl Jenny. Love seeing Jenny in here, man. That really uplift me. Much prayers to Jenny, man. She got a big fight on her hands right at her doorstep. God is good, man, Jenny. Always stay prayed up. And you know my prayers with me and my family be right there with you. That's a whole fact. 600 plus total people with all the platforms. You guys really show love tonight, and we really thank you, man. Roll Tide to you guys. Much love to Nicole, my girl. Much love to No J Speed, Sweet Home Bama 24. All my brothers on the panel, all my brothers watching, all my brothers with great content creators. And last but not least, in Ty words, we're going to introduce you to the fifth member of our panel in the words of the great Ty Hayes. The SWD, the spinning wheel of doom. Roll Tide to you guys, and until next time, tap in with us.